How far is man willing to go in the pursuit of perfection? How much time is he willing to sacrifice for an incremental redstone upgrade? Previously, a 2x1 floor space, now a 2x2 floor space. Is he willing to spend hours redesigning a complex system solely for that purpose? Apparently, yes. Redesigned from the ground up, and marginally nicer than the last. This is the realistic multi-floor elevator 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the first video on my channel. And what you can see behind me is version 2 of the realistic multi-floor elevator. Now, I'm sure many of you already have questions. What do you mean first video and you're uploading a version 2 of something? Well, turns out I actually have made a video on the first version. It's just on a different channel. This is before I ever gave YouTube a second thought. And I did it for Crafty Masterman's challenge, Team C's challenge. And it's over there behind me. And that's a redstone contraption that I made ages and ages ago. And this was before honey blocks were introduced into the game. And so I got inspired by somebody else on his Discord to make this right here. His name is Redstone. We'll go over to his world in a little bit, but not before we do a little demonstration of what this thing can do. So as you can see, the user interface of this one is just like my other one, with this floor selector panel that you can use an arrow with. So let's just go to 3, for instance, hop in the elevator, push the button, and it'll take us up. Now, I don't know how many of you caught on or how many of you saw the other video, but one notable feature is the doors right here. You can see the doors are actually flush with the elevator. That's one of the changes that I made. And of course, the elevator itself is a 2x2 as opposed to a 2x1 in the previous version. Now, the other thing that you might have noticed is the front of the elevator is completely clean of redstone lines. If you built a wall here and you built a wall here, you wouldn't see any of the redstone when you're actually riding the elevator, which is awesome. It's different than what we had over here. I actually made a joke about that in the other video. So yeah, improvements all around. You know, if I'm actually going to design or redesign the entire thing from the ground up just for this 2x2 space, I might as well improve everything that I can improve about this thing as well, right? And of course, it has the call feature as well. So if you're on floor number 2 and you push the button, then it should come down and meet you at that floor. And that's true with any other floor in the entire system as well. So without further ado, let's actually go to Redstone's world, and I'll show you where I got the inspiration from. Okay, so here we are in Redstone's world. As you can see, this one is just a 2-story elevator. It just goes back and forth. There's no floor selection. And here we have the item of interest over here. So this one uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flying machines. Mine has 5 flying machines because it doesn't include these 2 blocks here. And yeah, this particular one, the way that it's built, it cannot be stopped in midair. Trust me, I've tried. I'll show you a little bit of the other design decisions that I made. But basically, I took inspiration from this design and sort of like carried it over to mine that can be started and stopped in midair. The other thing is, as much as I would love to give Redstone credit, this exact same design can also be seen on Mumbo Jumbo's channel. When I saw this, I did a little bit of research of my own and actually found this exact design in one of his videos. I'm not saying that it's not possible that it was copied, but it may have been. But this this system here, I'm sure is 100% original. So yeah, thank you Redstone for the inspiration, and thank you for the ideas. Now let's hop back into the v2.0 world. Alright, and we're back. So this here is a little mock-up of this thing here. This is all the computational junk that's going on to figure out the floor levels, or the floor numbers and all this kind of stuff. We'll come back to that briefly, but this is kind of what most of the work was like when designing this elevator. Now, with any flying machine, if you want it to be bidirectional and stopped in midair, you're going to have to be able to build a contraption that can A, detect where it's coming from, B, stop it no matter where it's coming from, either top or bottom, C, be able to send it either up or down, and finally, D, be able to have it pass all the way through without any of the sticky blocks interfering with any of the sticky blocks here. So that's what this is, and I call it the claw. Yeah, so because it kind of, I don't know, I guess it kind of looks like a claw. But anyways, this is the design for the elevator that I came up with. As you can see, it shares some similar designs with the one in Redstone's world. Of course, you know, I moved a couple of the observers. This observer is on the side here, and this observer is on this side, attached with this honey block over here, as well as this red block. I'll explain what that red block does. The back is completely different. This is actually carried over the same design from the other one, and as you can see, this other side as well. So this is a really wacky, strange design. We have blocks hanging off the edges. That's so that we can stop it in midair. You stop it from those points here, 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 and all that kind of stuff. And we have more readily accessible observers that are facing outwards instead of down. These ones continue to face upwards, and we had to do some very strange tricks to get that working. So I'm just going to go ahead and send it up. Actually, first I'll put this into catch mode. There you go. Now it's in catch mode. So what ends up happening is these two blocks pass in front of these two observers, and whichever one it activates first detects which way it's coming from. So if it's coming from the bottom, then it's going to detect this one first, and so it's going to extend this piston here and do the appropriate stopping, and opposite when it goes down. When it's coming down, this one's going to activate first, and therefore this piston's going to fire to stop the elevator along with the other pistons that need to be fired. So, alright, now it's in catch mode. So I'm going to go ahead and send it with the push of a button. There we go, and there you go. Very wacky stuff. This needs to move twice so that it has room for these two. And this right here is what the red block is. This right here is what the red block is doing. You can see it's actually acting as a solid block between a container and a comparator, and that right there goes into the door detection circuit. So it detects whether or not the elevator is actually on the floor. That's why this red block gets dragged around. And yeah, it's a real tight squeeze. Let's send it up real quick. The up circuit is the green circuit. So there we go. It is being sent up, and on the tops and bottoms it just hits some obsidian. No big deal. Let's see the bottom catch sequence. Hit that. Hit that. And let's take a look. So yeah, that one's pretty simple. It uses these blocks, and this birch block over here to stop it. And this is an interesting one. Sending it down involves activating these two observers, right, on either side. And because they're in such an inconvenient spot to be updated, this actually gets fired over here. This piston fires, which, you know, moves this entire mechanism, as well as the two observers over here, which then pulse both of these pistons right in front of here. And because it's on a slow pulse, and I made sure of it, these blocks don't stick to this because it's gone by the time. Just pay very close attention to that when it happens. So here we go. There you go. You kind of saw it. I hope. So yeah, gets sent to the bottom there. And then, of course, when it is not in catch mode, you can send the elevator straight on through, and it won't be stopped. And you can see just how close the tolerances are on this thing. It passes right through the claw, and I'll give you a better view of it from above over here. So check that out. It just barely scoots on by. So yeah, this right here is what makes the multi-floor part of it possible. Without this, it just wouldn't work. And, you know, despite it being kind of the smallest part of the entire thing, it is the most, I guess, complex or head-scratchy part of the whole thing. The rest of it, of course, is a few decision circuits over here. These ones, the call lines. This one's a directional down call line. This one's a directional up call line. We have lines over here to go into an RS NOR latch for the door, and that loops around instead of going in front of it, the door circuit. I mean, in contrast to this one over here, which passes right in front of the elevator shaft. And as you can see, does not have like the RS NOR latch thing. And that was because of the doors, which I'll very, very briefly go over right now. As you can see, the doors are right up against these slime blocks, which you may think, oh, that's kind of problematic because the slime blocks will pull these pistons, right? Well, an extended piston is actually immovable. So no, it just slides right past. But you got to make sure that before the elevator starts moving, you have to close the doors. And that goes for sending it to a different floor like this. Close and then send, right? And it also goes for calling it from a different floor. Right? So, let's see if we can see it up here. If we call it up to 4, then we push this button, and we have a close, and then a send. Yep. So, that's how that works. So, the reason why the RS NOR latch is there is so that the call circuit resets the doors on every single level. And, you know, if it attempts to reset the doors on every single level, it's bound to catch the one that it's actually on. So yeah, there's the quick overview and showcase of this realistic multi-floor elevator version 2.0. I hope you enjoyed it, and for those of you that are interested, please tell me in the comments below if you want a detailed walkthrough of everything that this thing does. I'd be willing to make that video if enough people are interested in it. And I hesitate to say this, but if enough people, and by enough people I mean a lot of people, want a tutorial, I might be persuaded to do a tutorial on this thing as well in the future. So just let me know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much if you've gotten to this point. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future videos, because I'm planning on making this a great channel. So hope to see you around again. So yeah, I'm out.